All right, I just have to tell you, it worked. Josh, LaJaunie, Anthony Massielo, Jason Cohen, Justin Lacy, Tim Kaufman, Heather Kaufman, all of you amazing, inspiring people that have been on my Rewriting My Story show on Tuesday nights. It's worked. You guys have got me back. I'm just today, I don't know if you can see the weather out here today, but man, this weather is just unbelievable. It's unbelievable here in Sacramento, and the birds are chirping. And I have been putting off running for a very long time. Are you with me on that? I know people are logging on right now. Have you been putting off running? And if you have, maybe you could do what I'm gonna do today, which is get back to running for the first time in some months. I have a history. My running history is crazy, and I'll just tell you it real quick, but the bottom line is that today's gonna be my first run that I've taken like probably 3 or 4 months. Like 3 or 4 months ago, I did, I think, 8 miles or 9 miles just randomly. But to know the story with running for me really, and the reason I'm doing it and the reason I'm telling you guys about this right now, today on this beautiful weekend, is running is, for me, it's not about cardiovascular health. It's not about losing weight. What running is for me is, more than anything, it's something that just gets my mind right. But more than that, it's something that has helped me rewrite my story. When I was a kid, and I talked about this with Josh LaJaunie this past week, who is the runner of runners, as all my guests have been. And you know, I told Josh, growing up, he also was a football player, and growing up, he also dreaded running, like dreaded it. I mean, I may have quit a sport, not because I didn't feel like I was talented enough with basketball, but I hated running. Like, my coach ran me into the ground to where I finally was like, I'm done running. So anyway, all through high school, running just gave me, and growing up, elementary school, junior high, it just gave me like just a panic attack to think about running. And it wasn't until I was like, 23, 24, that I actually was able to start running on a treadmill without dreading it. And then it became a thing where, I think about 10 years ago, where I ran my first 5K, and then I ran a 10K, and then I ran a half marathon. I've ran, I think, 9 half marathons. But I did it because I wanted to prove to myself that all limits and all fears that we have are just in our head. They're just in our mind. And that, you know, Michael Jordan said a quote along those lines, which I'll drop in because I can't remember it now. I think it's fear. Limits like fear are often just an illusion. And a shout out to the greatest basketball player of all time right here. Come on, I love LeBron, but this is the greatest basketball player of all time. MJ, fadeaway perfect. So again, I'm going to give that to you. Fear, or limits like fear, are often just an illusion. So what is the illusion that you have? Today I'm running because if I stop running, mentally, I'm not in a good space. Running has always been a great way for me to be mentally balanced. It's not about weight. It's not about weight. None of that stuff. It's about mental balance. And by the way, when I say that, some of you don't know what it's like because you've only ran 3 miles. You've never ran past 3 miles. The first 3 miles are the hardest miles to run. But when you get past 3, your body falls into a rhythm. And when you hit 6, watch out. That's when those endorphins start kicking up and you start really, really loving it. It's unbelievable feeling. And then after 6, it's just, there's this mixture of, as Josh talked about, you're alone with your thoughts, and you're kind of having to do nothing but accept your thoughts and accept your physical experience. And that's great for the practice of mindfulness. But on top of that, you also are in this place of just learning how to accept your experience as it is. And you're having the endorphins going. And I'm telling you, it's a euphoric experience. I miss it. Josh LaJaunie this week got me excited about it again. And that was like the 10th seed planted from all my other guests who talked about running. So I'm definitely getting back to it. But again, it's more than that. It's the fact that this is something for a long time that if I'm not running, then basically what it says to me is I'm letting my fear or that old story come back in. Even though I no longer fear running, it used to be something in my story that was part of fear. And I want to take that back. So what are the things right now that you've been putting off? Maybe there are things that you have not yet rewritten. Maybe you haven't ran, but you're afraid of it. Maybe there's something that you really want to do. It used to be good for you, but right now you're just feeling like you don't want to do it. Take advantage of what we have here, which is this amazing, amazing weather. And I'm sorry if you guys aren't. Hey, Tina, how are you? If you guys aren't in California, I apologize, because maybe the weather isn't as good as it is out here. But if you can't get inspired by these birds, if you can't get inspired by this landscape, then I else to say. It's a great day to run. It's a great day to get out there. It's a great day to rewrite your story. And again, what are the things that you feel like in the past have really held you back? So I'm gonna go back over, and before I go on my run, I'm just gonna show you again kind of what we got going on over here. This is just got so blessed with this backyard that we have here. I swear I'm not just trying to show off the backyard, but what I do want to show you is, because we got some plant-based stuff going on here. I don't know how many people like artichokes. I'm not a huge artichoke fan, but I'm about to dive into some artichokes. This is just in the Instant Pot. Put some artichokes in there, and just did whole artichokes, and it looked like it turned out pretty good. And then I'm gonna take that, and I'm gonna do what I always do, which is this Mazza hummus is for everything. You see oil-free? Yeah, gotta keep it oil-free. And then I got a great book that I need to crack open. I've been needing to crack this book open. What's up, Richard? Good to see you. Hey, Abram, what's up, man? How are you? So yeah, I got this book to crack open, got this going. And yeah, it's just it's a day that's made for running. So you guys have an amazing weekend. And again, as Michael Jordan said, as the GOAT said, that limits like fear is often just an illusion. Limits like fear is often just illusion. The limits that you have on yourself right now, they are self-imposed. You make the decision which ones to feed. You know, again, Justin Lacy has talked about this. LaJaunie talked about this last week. What beast are you feeding? Which narrative are you feeding? Which story are you feeding? You have an opportunity right now to live out something different. It's a matter of not saying that I have to change my whole life in one day. It's saying that the next step that I take will be in a direction that is a direction that I want to go in. And if you realize that, if you really get that, it's not the size of the step that counts, it's a direction. It's not about running 10 miles today, it's about getting out and jogging for 32 seconds. Because that direction, maybe for you, is a direction that's going to conquer fear, it's going to conquer limits, it's going to be living out your best story. And that's what we're all about here. So again, I just want to encourage you guys today, have an amazing weekend, enjoy this beautiful weather, and I will see you guys soon. So good to hear life is great, Abram. I want to hear more though. Why is it great, man? Send me a message or something. Been thinking about you, man. And hey, Shirley, all you guys that are tuning in, I hope you guys have an amazing weekend. Lisa is actually my mother-in-law. So hello, how are you, Mama Lisa? Love you, sitting here in the backyard while the kids are sleeping. So anyway, hope you guys have a great weekend, and get out there and run. Who's with me? Who's gonna go out and run this weekend or do something right now that they feel like, that right now that there's been limitations on? And I'll say it for the 11th time because why not? But again, like the GOAT said, like Michael Jordan said, is there really a debate? I mean, I know LeBron's been to 8 in a row, which is an amazing thing. I love LeBron, and I hate that we have to pin these two guys together. They're such different players. But this is the GOAT right here. This is the GOAT, and we know that. He's the greatest player of all time. And Michael Jordan said that limits like fears are often just an illusion. So it's just an illusion in our mind. The fear is an illusion. The limits are an illusion. What limits are you going to slay this weekend? Let me know.